Okay, this is part one of probably many videos that I'll do, kind of showing the different things in the collection, focusing on different things like just the CDs. Now this is all metal CDs, so you got potential for, I believe it's 8 shelves of CDs down, and then it goes all the way across like so to there. What I do to organize them is they are in alphabetical order. They're also in chronological order. As I get new ones, because I don't shift them down and alphabetize them every time I get a new CD, where the CDs are going to go, I put them up on top, as you can see there. And then once probably every 6 months or so, I do the shift, and it usually takes me around 8 hours, broken down over 3 or 4 days. I can get it all done and put away and organized, just so that eventually I'll have more CDs to put away. I also include, like for example, Emperor here. We have a VHS of the live Imperial ceremony, and then I've got the DVD, and that comes at the end of all the Emperor that I have. I don't have all the singles and everything that some people collect. I mainly focus on EPs and albums. If I can find other stuff along the way, then I do it. Entombed, for example, you know, I've got the Crawl EP, couple different copies of Wolverine Blues. One has got the Wolverine cover, one's just got the regular cover, and then this is a single. A couple copies of the Digipack for To Ride, Shoot Straight. If there's something that's rare and I can find it at a fairly decent price, I'll get it again. The other thing that I do is, if I get 8 tracks of a band, like for example Alice Cooper, they go in right next to, so for example, here's School's Out, and actually it's out of order here. Actually the School's Out CD is first, and then the tape in that case. Box sets, for example, go on top. All of the CDs, as far as right now, until I run out of room, the CDs will come out of the box set and actually come into the rack according to whatever. Specialized packaging, like the Cradle of Filth cross, goes in like that. You have Priest. This is a fairly new acquisition, Point of Entry. Screaming for Vengeance is coming on 8-track. Kiss is probably my most extensive one, that's got the 8 tracks all the way through to Unmasked. There are some more available, but hard to get. And then a rare occasion, I have a Betamax. This one's still sealed, of Alive, Animalize Alive. And then I have the VHS version as well. When we bought this house, we decided that we wanted to keep, you know, all my stuff downstairs so that I could put all my collections together. And so at that point we decided to have a contractor kind of bid on what it would cost to build these shelves all the way around the basement. What he did is he built, I don't know if you can see, he built a wall about 3 feet out from the foundation. So back behind there, there's a walk space, and my sump pump is actually back in the corner, 3 feet back. So if we needed to have something done with that, we could just have somebody walk back there. And then he built the shelves. He just kind of stained them, but he didn't really finish them. I just thought it kind of gave a better look, and I think he did a really good job. You know, as we go across here, it's going to be, I would say in the next couple of years, I'm going to probably fill up all the space. Now this is just my metal CDs, but when I say metal, so you've got Kiss in here, you've got death metal, you have black metal, you have punk rock. When I say punk rock, I mean stuff like the Sex Pistols. You have hardcore, like the Dead Kennedys, Black Flag, some Circle Jerks. I don't have all. Black Flag, I think I said that already. You have hair bands, you know, Poison, okay, yeah, but it's part of metal, and in my opinion, even if it's not that listenable to me now, there was a time in my life when that was, you know, that was what I listened to, and until I heard certain bands, it really became, you know, that was what I listened to. And then, you know, as it grew, I heard Metallica, I heard Slayer, Morbid Angel, Napalm Death. It just kind of spiraled from there. Those bands are still have a point in my life and an importance in my life, and so they belong, in my opinion, here. You know, there's some stretches. You know, I've got like Night Ranger, Ted Nugent. Again, those are more hard rock, and even like Def Leppard, more hard rock than they are classic rock or pop rock, or, you know, I mean, although they do have albums that way. So that's really how I organize my CDs. It starts at the top, you go all across here, and it's A, and then it goes all the way across, A, B, C, in that order. And then when I get to the end over here, I start the second shelf with wherever I left off and go all the way across. So it's easy to find. One thing I try to do, and I'd like to eventually have all of them covered with the little cases, is digipacks, things of that nature, just to keep them from getting any additional damage. Some of them, like this one I bought used, and it had some damage, but I want to keep them in good shape, so I get some of the plastic covers that you can put over them to prevent any additional damage from coming in, you know, happening to them. And like I said, I'd like to eventually get all of them in. I do, with regular jewel cases, I do sometimes put those in digipack holders, only because some of them are a little harder to come by, and I want to make sure, for example, if there, God forbid, there's a pipe leak or something, that those specific ones would be sealed and less likely to get water damaged. I've had water damage before in my old house, and I really don't want to have that happen again. So there's some paranoia there. In a lot of cases, a lot of these CDs were bought used. So a lot of people say, you know, well, how do you afford all this? I've been collecting since 1990, so my collection has kind of grown, and it started off with just buying stuff as I found it, a lot of times finding them used, a lot of times finding them for $3.99, seeing things that now go for 50, 60, 70 bucks. I might have paid $8 for it. I also befriended a manager of the local record store, and he would sell me stuff that came out new at their cost. So if their invoice said they paid $7.99 for it and they were going to charge $12.99 for it, I would pay $7.99. I also got a lot of promos handed to me, full promos, the full album. You know, they may have the either the side sawed off or the little hole in the back booklet, but sometimes I did that instead of getting the actual album because I could get it fairly cheap. You know, as I went on to the age of the internet, there's a lot of times where you'd find stuff used cheap. Sometimes you pay more for stuff. I really try to avoid that. Very, very, very few times have I paid a lot of money for stuff that I didn't think was worth it. One problem and dilemma I had with the shelves wrapping around like this is what to do when I got to a corner. So what I did, I don't know if you can see it, is when I get to a point, then I stack a set of them on top of each other like that, so you can read the spine still, and it separates them and it can still continue to flow. So this is pretty much all I can think of for this, this part of the collection right now. Like I said, I have more CDs that are classic rock, country, or R&B, and all that stuff that I'll do another video with. But if there's any specific things that you guys maybe want to see as far as videos of the collection, since there's going to be a lot of you that would probably never be able to make it here, I would love to invite people. I'd love to share my collection. Unfortunately, a lot of you live overseas and don't have the opportunity. So if there's anything that you would like to see, as if you were almost here looking, please send me a message or make a comment on this video, and that'd be great. And thank you very much.